Welcome back. I hate that we can't do it at the same time.
I was just about to explain. Caitlin and I can't do it in unison currently because of the remoteness, and we're not trying to like awkwardly say it and like hurt your ears like 1 second after each other. I don't know.
No, but that's how it is though. It's like it like says it like almost like a tiny bit lagged.
Yeah. Again, I explained this last week. If you see my eyes do that, first of all, my notes are down here. Second of all, Caitlin and I have like our pretty little monitors under the camera. So like, I'm going to try and look at you. Again, I said this last week, but I'm going to try and look at you and pretend that you're Caitlin. But Caitlin's like there to me. Like this is what I see when I'm looking at Caitlin. So I think I actually, when I was editing, did a pretty good job at like just focusing on the camera. But I just really like to look at you. It was like really hard.
I know, literally, all I do is just like stare. Okay, at you, not me, but like
same. Fine. But at you, yeah. Period. Did you notice what I did today?
Did you get your hair done, or did you straight? Oh, you did tinsel,
guys. If you've like been a follower, if you've been a follower, I have pink at the back. If you've been a follower for a while, or if you've ever seen me at DNVR bar, you know that I always have tinsel in my hair. And I got it taken out like last time I got my hair done, like a month and a half ago, because I was supposed to have a job interview, and then that didn't really end up happening. And then I didn't have my cute sparkly hair. So there's some pink. So I just like to glitter. And I did this while I was waiting for Caitlin to not be doing things with her real job.
Ugh.
So
what real job? I don't even have.
So if you think my hair is sparkling, it's because it is, baby.
It's because it is. I'm like so sad. I was holding a football last week, like in my arms, and now they're behind me on the wall.
Oh, I was like, I
can't hold.
I was like, move aside, but it's like over there. There goes. Wait, someone wanted us to high five across the screen.
Okay,
but I can't. Is that your bad hand?
No, this is my good one.
Okay, right?
Wait. Okay, hold on, wait. Best friends.
Best friends forever. I literally don't even know.
Way too long.
I literally don't even know at this point if this episode is going to come out tonight or tomorrow. Because what time is it? It's 3 p.m. We'll probably talk for 2 hours. Then it'll take me 3 hours probably to edit.
It's all my fault.
It's not. And then I need to do other things. So yeah. So
you have a life. Look at this. You see my
queen.
It's so cozy.
I can't even act surprised though because you ordered it through our mutual account. Did you see my glitter eyeshadow palette?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Is I love that like you and I we just like forget that like we're like on the U Sports TikTok, and then we're both just like, TikTok shop got us again.
Yeah, and I literally saw something like Dancing with the Stars, and I'm like, oh my god, Caitlin, you're messing with my curated For You page from the U Sports account, because I'm always on the U Sports account. So I'm like always watching like book talk is mainly what it is, and like and like true crime random things, and then all of a sudden I see Dancing with the Stars. I'm like, Caitlin, come on now. I was trying to figure out last night why I saw like 5 Dancing with the Stars videos in a row, and I'm like, fucking Caitlin.
Sorry.
So Caitlin. NFL week 3, baby, was nothing like I expected. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, if you're new to us, we will be back together next week. This is our second remote show, so forgive us. I made this border that's around us. I'm very proud of it.
Isn't it so cute?
And that's my name. I'm Spencer. And
I'm Caitlin.
That's Caitlin.
Okay, so I just have to point that. Oh, so you're where you normally are. We just have to point where we normally are.
That's what I was saying. Oh yeah, Caitlin's there. That's why I did it this way. So you look at us, and because I'm usually on this side of the couch. Well, anyway.
You're literally so smart.
So Caitlin and I have a really fun event in Arizona next week. It's like a fun actually, you talk about it because you know more of the details.
Yes,
but I'm going to
go. Yes, heck yeah, she is. We do things as a team.
Always.
Always. But
Always.
we're going to be representing U Sports at a super fun domestic violence event next week. I mean, it's domestic violence isn't fun. The event will be fun.
Super fun topic.
The event is fun.
Okay,
It's
Blake Lively.
I truly, though. Yeah, it's so exciting. No, but we're raising
Should
money.
we wear our florals?
Yes, and bring your besties.
Okay.
But we are raising money for a domestic violence shelter and nonprofit out here in Arizona. One of my friends, Alyssa, who actually took like our branding photos that you guys will hopefully get to see soon, she took those pictures and she's a fantastic photographer, and she set up this whole event. So props to her. And it's like a $20 entry fee, and you get like a free $20 20-minute like photography session, and then there's gonna be like sweet treats and coffee and tea and merch, U Sports merch, by the way.
Heck yeah, baby.
Heck yeah, all sorts of stuff. And just all the proceeds from that day are going to be going directly to this domestic violence nonprofit in Arizona that goes towards domestic violence victims and their families, and just kind of safety and shelter and clothes and food and just other resources for them. And so something very near and dear to our heart, something that we're super excited to go and get to be a part of, and meet a bunch of other super wonderful humans.
So if you're in the Arizona area and you want to submit to a great cause and come hang out with us, we'll be there.
Do it. We will be there. Yeah, we'll be.
If you're like a normal,
all y'all.
If you're a normal human, okay? Like, I'm assuming if you're weird, you're not going to heed our warnings to stay away, but
I was just about to say, I was like, I feel like the not normal people would not care.
Yeah. See, this is what happened when, cause I'm a nanny, right? And when my car got stolen out of the parking garage, when I first moved to Denver, and I had 3 car seats in the back, cause I like drive them in my car. And I was like, what kind of person steals, someone's car with 3 car seats in it? And then I said, a car thief.
Horrible
probably.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess the people that are stealing cars out of parking garages probably aren't the moral compass I should be looking to. But anyway, I was like, I feel like there should be a line somewhere. Like, if there's no line, then at what cost?
That's why criminals say in prison, like the guys that are like drug lords and murderers and stuff like that, they don't F with women and children, like people who hurt women and children.
Period.
Those like people that F with women and children are like the ones that get their asses kicked in jail. As they should. Yes, and the elderly too. That's like a thing. People that hurt the elderly and stuff like that.
Come on, pick on someone your own age.
That's
or not.
Exactly
or don't pick on anyone actually.
Exactly. Just like your own age, your own size, your own strength.
All right. I literally, domestic violence. Then we're talking about thieves and criminals. Anyway, on to
we're here to talk football.
Actually, speaking of women and child abusers, the NFL.
Stop.
Oops. Did I say
right
that?
On in there. Went right on in there.
Anyway, NFL.
That's hilarious.
I couldn't help myself. NFL Week 3, baby, and Thursday night. I know that was a long time ago. Was
like a week ago.
That was a long time ago. Was the Pats versus the Jets, and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron looked younger than me out there. Aaron.
He was looking like prime Aaron Rodgers.
My favorite note I took was literally Aaron Rodgers looked so cool, so casual. He literally would just step back in the pocket. He looked like he would rather be anywhere else. Step back in the pocket, look for his guy. And he goes, throws the ball.
There you go.
There you go. Get out.
There you go.
Go run that way. So Aaron Rodgers was 27 of 35 passes for 281 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Jets had 27 first downs to the Patriots 11. Oop.
Sorry, throwing things.
They outgained New England 400 to 139. They averaged 5.7 yards per play compared to 2.9. I just want to start off by saying I know Caitlin and I aren't the ones that like want to like just read stats all day. Football stats are one of my favorite things. I don't know, like I love them way more than like NBA stats. I love the comparisons of football stats. So I like to get those out of the way when we first start talking about the game, but they controlled the ball for 40 minutes and 4 seconds of the game.
Incredible.
Jacoby Brissett was 12 of 18 passing for 98 yards.
Yeah, it was, his was especially a rough day.
This is one more stat before we talk about the game. Jets, this is their first 2-1 start since 2015. And that's also the last year the team beat the Pats at home until now.
Wow.
So I loved this game specifically because Caitlin and I, after the Pats beat the Bengals, were like, are the Pats like better than we thought they were going to be? And now we know they're not.
My literal first note was Pats looked like who we thought they were supposed to be weeks 1 and 2.
Period.
Yeah,
sure.
I literally I convinced myself because I just looking at their team, like you look at it and you're like, okay, young coach, super young team. Obviously, you have Drake May, but he is a backup quarterback. They're not starting him or anything like that.
He's new. He was the 3rd draft pick in April, so he got a couple touches. I think his first NFL minutes, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, towards the end of the game, once they were just getting their asses handed to them.
Yeah, but, it was over.
Yeah, they like I said though, they the first 2 games, I was like, wow, who is this Patriots team? It was not what I was expecting.
Exactly, but
this
performance was what I was expecting.
This is what I thought, and it's
really
sure
funny.
Is. So. Another one of the notes that I took for just this game as I was watching it was everybody eats. Everyone on the Jets
I love
touched the ball.
Those types of games.
Everyone had such a game such a good game. Breece Hall had 83 yards and a touchdown. Allen Lazard 48 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Conklin had 93 yards, which is the most I've seen a tight end be used really all season. I feel like tight ends have been really underutilized this season.
Oh, I was going to say the opposite, except for in Travis Kelce's case.
Well,
because
Travis Kelce's case,
the Bengals have really been using their tight ends. So maybe it's not a league-wide thing, but there's a couple teams that I've noticed have been using tight ends more than I feel like I'm used to seeing. And I know everyone's being weird about the Travis Kelce situation, but they have a better receiving core. So it's a tight end is not 1,000%. A receiver. They're meant to be a hybrid. So they're not the number one choice to be catching the ball, especially for long yardage. Travis Kelce is just an insane athlete, but he is getting older. And so I know he went on the podcast. And I guess he said he wasn't playing really well. I mean, he seems to be doing, just because his stats aren't great. He seems to be blocking and doing his other job.
Podcast too.
Oh, I didn't watch. I just saw the clip of them talking about it, and Jason was really being really sweet to Travis. But in my head, all the people that are all the girls, I think that are just used or started watching, and this is no hate. I'm just saying, if you started watching because of Taylor Swift and then you got into it, you're might be a little confused. And it's just the tight end is not the same receiver role. And also Travis Kelce is a little older. So if they don't have to use him as much, they're probably not going to.
They're not going to.
Doesn't mean he's still not an incredible player. He seemed a little frustrated. So maybe he isn't catching like he usually is in practice. I mean, who knows? Because at first I was I expected him to say what we're saying and being I'm a tight end. But I guess maybe there is a little disconnect. Who knows? But for all of you people that didn't know, that's the tight end's first job is not to be the receiver's job. That's, it's half of their job. So
this is my blocking hands. Oh, my little cripple hand. It looks good. Good blocks.
They're supposed to block first. Good blocks.
Yes. That's good blocks. That's literally
anyway, that was
their first job.
Anyway, you
Super
said
weird tangent.
You said tight ends were being underused. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's just how I felt in some of the games, even for the Broncos with Dolchich and stuff like that, and the Chargers and the Raiders, and maybe it's the AFC West that's not using their tight ends a lot. But I saw 93 yards and it was freaking 11 receptions or something crazy like that, and I was that's a lot of utilization for a tight end in a game like that.
I'll tell you
everybody's eating.
I'll tell you, the Dolphins should have used their tight ends, and I have so much to say about them. But anyway, I didn't have much to say on that game. Otherwise, just Aaron Rodgers looked insane, especially coming after a freaking ACL tear or whatever he did last year.
Yes, that's what I put, is that he just he looked really comfortable. He looked like he never tore his ACL. And the only other note that I had on this game that I thought was really cool too, like I said, my biggest note for the Jets is that everybody ate. Everyone did well. Everyone touched the ball. Everyone put in the work and did what they needed to do, because even on the defensive end, the Jets had 8 separate players record at least half a sack. So I'm like, that's crazy.
I love when everyone's getting involved.
Yes, 8 players is a lot to record at least half a sack.
Sure is.
Yeah, I mean, truly. And I think it was Drake May got sacked twice, and Brissett got sacked 5 times. So they recorded 7 total sacks. Which
Drake May got sacked twice in his last 2
in his
or his first little seconds. That sucks.
Mm-hmm. And so I would say that because I always say that if you're excessively getting sacked, it's not just one or the other. It's not just the quarterback's fault. It's not just the O-line's fault. You both suck.
No sirree, Bob.
You're all bad.
This is a group effort to suck.
This is a group problem. Yeah, truly though. But that's I'm you're in the game for 5 minutes and you got sacked 2 times. You gotta learn to scramble, roll out, whatever it may be, make a choice. But it wasn't good.
Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers looked great. Pats didn't. You know who had a great game, Caitlin?
I know who had a great game. I do. Me.
Oh,
I tell you.
You and the Dr. Pepper sweatshirt. You, ma'am. You there.
His name. I typed Bo Nixaroonie. That's what I.
5 points to Gryffindor. Great answer. You are correct. Broncos v Bucs 26-7. I represented today. I have the little it is this arm. The little.
Oh, so cute.
I know. I love it.
That. Oh my god.
So I represented.
This was my best Sunday ever. This was my best Sunday in a very long time. No,
Same.
When I tell you, last Sunday, I literally left mid-game to go do yard work in 105-degree weather on purpose. I was I'm going to literally go rake my turf. That's what I said. I left in the middle of the game to go rake my turf. And
that's so valid.
It is. Yeah. This week I was sat. I was proud.
So set, because I was, as many of you know, one of my friends that I've known for 10 years. His fiance is one of my best friends from college, and they started dating literally right after her and I became friends, probably 6 months after. So I have now known them both for a very, very long time. Forever. And so I was with her because she's in Denver now, which is super exciting, but they were in Tampa. So we were sitting with her with their kids, and I got to see my friend get his first NFL sack. Period.
Cool.
Solo. I mean, I think he got credited with the solo. I'm inserting the picture, whichever direction, somewhere in the middle, however I do that. Yeah, I'm doing that because yesterday I was reading, and it wasn't even, because I was doing some notes, getting some stats. And I wasn't even on a Broncos website. I was on a Tampa website. I didn't even realize it was CBS Tampa, something stupid like that. And the picture of the sack was on Tampa's. I was I know him. It was so fun. So I also had a great time. 7
it was
sacks.
So exciting. Yes.
7 sacks.
Oh my God. That's
on Baker Mayfield.
That's the one thing that we talked about, and that we do talk about a lot. With the Broncos, is that their defense has literally been the reason that they haven't gotten their asses completely handed to them. Yes, and so their defense stayed fantastic, stayed ready.
I literally I think I posted that on Instagram. I said defense is on one tonight, on one. I do have
so good
breaking news, and I don't even know if you know this because I saw it right before we got on, but Singleton is out.
I saw that with his
you did
ACL.
see? And he has been great.
He's been so good.
Yeah, so we are going to have a replacement for him. So Cody Barton is going to be taking over his role, and he's been doing excellent. So hopefully, you okay over there?
You're good. Yeah.
So hopefully, like, Broncos can keep up their defensive efforts. He's also, I thought it was interesting, is going to be taking over the defensive play calling, which is something that Singleton does. So I feel bad his season's over, especially after during a great win.
I hate that. I feel like there's been a lot of like very important players getting injured, and we'll even get to a couple of other games where there were a lot of bad injuries too. So that really sucks. Obviously, we want him healthy and back as soon as possible.
Happy and
hopefully
healthy.
Cody Barton can
Steps up.
come whip her up. But
this game was so amazing. I think I like texted Caitlin within the first, like the second down, because I literally, my note is Bo Nix came out and hit target. He was
3 for 3, like right away. It was
immediately
to see. So good.
Short throws, but got them moving. And I'm like, that's what you need. Is like the offense has just been so bad. I'm like, start small. You're still getting downs. You just need your yardage, okay? Everyone's like, I wish my quarterback could throw more than 5 yards. And I'm like, it sucks right now. Let him get comfortable. Clearly, after what did I tell everyone? I told everyone to stop hating. I said at least wait till like the third or fourth game.
Yeah.
I'm like, give them a few games. And clearly you could tell. I still noticed, of course, some of those like towards the end, like he got lucky. He almost had a fumble that got called back because of penalty, and he almost threw like 2 interceptions. So we still saw some of those like shaky rookie mistakes, but he clearly is starting to get it. And I will say I was really mean. I feel like both of us were to Sean Payton last week. And I do believe that he realized, maybe he heard our podcast, that you're calling offense for the wrong person, buddy. And he did switch it up, and I'm so happy he did.
Yes, I was gonna talk about Sean Payton, because that's like I wanted to shout him out, because something that obviously I've been talking about with this team is that like a lot of people are blaming Bo Nix, and I've been saying week after week, we can't just blame Bo Nix. Obviously, he's had
we can't blame brand new quarterbacks. Stop it.
No, and like you know, like certain, like I said, certain things, sure, absolutely, there are certain things that were his fault, certain mistakes that were his fault. Obviously, you're a brand new quarterback in the league playing against the best players in the world. Okay, you're gonna have mistakes, but like I kept saying like a lot of that's play calling on Sean Payton. A lot of that is receivers and tight ends and people dropping their passes and not making the right plays and blah blah blah. And Sean Payton came out and he told the media, he said, a lot of people are like hating on Bo. And he's like, I want you guys all to know that like, this is not a Bo problem. Like I told my team, Bo's been ready. Bo is ready. Bo looks good. Bo's confident. He's comfortable.
Bo was a first round pick. Okay.
Yes. And he's like, and that's what he was saying. He's like, look, like this guy is our quarterback. It's not him. He was like, obviously, there's again, he's not perfect. There's stuff that there's
rookie
mistakes
mistakes
need to work out, of course. But he literally told his team and the media and everything like that. He's like, Bo is ready. The rest of our offense, including myself, like needs to be ready around him. And I feel like I saw that like 1,000% on Sunday. Like the Broncos, what I said is like the Broncos looked whole for like the first time. Like like even though obviously we talked about it, obviously there were several mistakes, but like they looked so much more put together and the play calling was smarter. I literally said, you need the 5-yard hitch passes right now because those are the ones that are getting the guys where they need to be. Those long passes, there's too much room for mistakes. The running backs haven't been making, the best plays, and that includes our O-line not making any gaps and stuff like that for them. But like those 5-yard hitch passes were the ones that were working. You have a guy wide open 5 yards out, you can make a perfect, accurate pass super quick. And it gives them time to run a route, and it worked so well for them.
I don't care. I don't care if the win is flashy. I don't care if the win is spectacular. A win is a win. Okay, a win is a win is a win. And
period.
While I will say on like the other end, because we're not neutral ever, but Bucs played without 3 key starters, so they were 1 safety and 2 linemen short, and that was obvious. So they
looked hurt.
They looked hurt. They looked confused. I mean, getting sacked 7 times, so good. Yeah. So good. But the Eagles are coming to town next week, and they're going to be ready to play because the Bucs knocked them out last year in the playoffs. So I'm assuming the Eagles are coming back with like the fire under their butts, whatever it is, fire under their ass, something.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, Broncos started off so hot in offense. I don't think I've said that in years.
It's been about 8 years for me.
Yeah, a 6-play, 70-yard drive that ended with Bo's 3-yard touchdown. So that was like
so good.
It was so good. And then I got worried because Tampa got that touchdown. And I've noticed when I watched last season that it would seem like Denver could come out and like get a lead early. And then as soon as the other team showed any type of momentum, they were like, it's over. We've lost. I'm like, what? Game over. They got one touchdown. We have 3, but it's over.
That's so true, though. Like, that would kind of be like almost like demoralizing for them instead of like using it as fire to come back harder. Like,
it was so weird. I was like, did you guys just give up? I was like, do I care about this game more than you? So I was so happy that after that, they like still came out and they did what they needed to do. Okay.
They did.
One thing I wanted to mention, because we've talked about him now in like 2 episodes, is Bucky Irving.
I was just about to say him.
Yeah, he ended up having like a couple huge runs, and everyone's talking like he's definitely going to be great in the future, of course, as like he gets older.
Yes, and that's
so he was good
funny because I was literally going to say, if anyone watched our NFL preview episode where we talked about NFL fantasy sleeper picks, that is the guy that I said. So if you listened to me, you're welcome, because he has been playing
Bucky of the Bucs. Chris Godwin also had a good game. 6 catches, 53 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yes.
So if you're a Bucs fan, there's your silver lining.
Period.
I guess. But I'm so glad we beat you.
You want to know who didn't have a silver lining? Spencer. I just want everyone to know this is my first note for the Cowboys-Ravens game. Go ahead, Spence. Take it away, babes. I know that she's about to lose it.
I'm finding it. Oh. The Cowboys. The Cowboys. You know what? CeeDee Lamb and I are one and the same because we were both throwing tantrums on Sunday. Okay. And I'm going to put a picture of you. I literally am putting him in the graphic that I've already made for this episode simply because you were being a little baby. Okay. And I'm going to come back and say, CeeDee Lamb did say that he was, disappointed by his behavior, and that's not him, which I'm very proud of him for doing.
Good for him. I didn't know he said that. Good for him.
He did. I think it was like yesterday or something. He was like, that's not the kind of player I am. And I was really impressed by that, actually.
That's amazing. That's great.
One of my first note, CeeDee Lamb visibly frustrated and throwing multiple temper tantrums. Cowboys fooled me into thinking they would come back just to ruin my whole fucking Sunday. Well, half my Sunday, because the Broncos had a big win. Everyone was saying, well, what's worse, getting blown out by the team or like coming back and almost winning? Getting blown out. Why the fuck was I on the edge of my seat texting my dad like, they're gonna do it? Dak's gonna do it for me.
They almost came back. Did you say Dak's gonna do it for me?
Dak's gonna help me. He's gonna save me, Dad, because Ezekiel Elliott and Rico Dowdle have left the stratosphere.
Zeke had 12 yards, Spencer. I can pee further than he ran that whole game.
Just wait. You know what's crazy is the Cowboys were outgained 274 to 51 yards on the ground. Okay, cool. You know what else is better?
I didn't know that.
Oh, you know what else is better? You know who really ruined my day? Jerry Mother Effin Jones. Because the Cowboys could have signed Derrick Henry as a free agent in this offseason.
Oh.
Thank you, Jerry Jones, for being responsible for my misery. I'm putting it all on you, because as long as you are owning this team, I will never see joy. Because
that's probably true.
You're a billionaire that can't. Isn't $1 million like $1,000 to a billionaire? I don't know. You can't sign. You gave Derrick Henry to The Ravens?
He did. And
274
Derrick
rushing
Henry.
yards to
Yep.
50 freaking 1.
Yeah.
Dallas is averaging 73.7 rushing yards while surrendering. Not only can we not run, but we can't stop the run while surrendering 185.7 yards. Okay. What the hell? Derrick Henry? Wow. Derrick is literally insane. And I've always known this because he was a Titan.
Me too.
And when I was in Nashville, I would always, see him and when they actually made it to the playoffs that one year.
That one time.
Derrick Henry is so insane, and he has an insane diet to match. Did you hear them talking about it? Derrick Henry eats no dairy, no gluten, no sugar, or like no artificial foods or sugars. Doesn't eat until like 4 or 5 p.m. each day. He plays football fasted.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, me personally, I would not walk outside and throw a football before breakfast, best friends. Okay. Not me. No way. No how. No sorry, Bob.
Nope.
Don't think so.
That's insane. And not only like you gave Derrick Henry to already like Lamar Jackson, who already runs the ball well. Lamar Jackson ran 14 times for 87 yards. Derrick Henry ran 25 times for 151 yards. That they are like a 1-2 punch that that no teams or few teams can do anything about. Well,
and that's what I was gonna say too, is like that he even guys like him who like are really good running backs, but like can also kind of play like that short pass game too. Like he literally got like an extra 20 plus yards just in receptions as well. Like he ended the game with 174 total yards and 2 touchdowns. Like he was a monster. And like you just like, you can't let a guy like that play like that. You will lose every single time.
Yeah, this was safe to say this was Ravens' get right game, being down in 0-2. So glad it was against my team. Yeah, no,
Love that.
so good. Yeah, Cowboys can't run, can't stop the run.
Nope.
Dak is the only one who did anything. He threw for 379 yards. Almost half of them came literally in that fourth quarter comeback. Yep. And they literally nearly erased a 22-point deficit in the fourth quarter alone, which is insane. So like, I will say on the other end, the Ravens Ravens almost lost that game in the fourth. Yeah. Rico Dowdle averaged 4 yards per carry, got 8 attempts for 32 yards. As a team, Dallas averaged 3.2 yards per carry.
It's almost as bad as the Broncos.
I could do better than that. I don't even care. I will literally challenge me right now. Rico Dowdle, Ezekiel Elliott, let's go practice. I will literally. You've got to be kidding me. What was that? Pitiful. Like, I'm so sick of this, and I am so sick of the Cowboys getting me excited every year just to literally screw it up. I'm glad CeeDee Lamb apologized. But yeah, you like were missing catches and then throwing a fit about it. Are we too? Okay.
Build me up, buttercup baby, just to let me down.
It was like the worst day ever. 2 losses in a row.
Yeah, and the hard part is that they were both like, besides the fourth quarter of game 2, they just like looked bad. Like it's not that like, we just, they're just, this team is too good. They just looked bad.
And the fact that like CeeDee Lamb didn't show up to camp because he wants to cry about money. Meanwhile, he had just 4 catches for 67 yards and a fumble. And Jake Ferguson, I bet you his ass was in camp, had 95 receiving yards on 6 catches. So I wonder how much his contract is. I bet he was at camp. I bet he wasn't MIA.
And I bet it was like a quarter of CeeDee Lamb's.
Cowboys, I literally speechless. Do you know how often
It
that
was pretty
happens?
Never.
Not often. Literally never.
Yeah.
So I'm done talking about them. They disgust me.
I hate them.
And they literally have tomorrow night or tonight, depending on when I end up getting this done.
When I post this?
Whenever I get to post this, yeah. You have tomorrow or tonight to prove to me that you're not, or that you are worth my time. You are worth 2.5 hours of my precious time.
Period.
Thank you. Okay, on to the next.
The next one.
In a shocking game that was literally so boring at first. Eagles and Saints, baby. 15-12. I was watching, so I was at my friend Kristen's, and like we had the TV on the Broncos game, of course, and then I had my iPad with YouTube TV up, so I was watching 4 games at once, but I was mainly just paying attention to Eagles and Saints because I was expecting this to be some like insane offensive game. I texted Caitlin probably 5 times saying, why is this so boring? And someone was like, because I think I tweeted it, was like, is defense boring to you? I'm like, kinda, sometimes. Good defense. I need both.
Lie.
Yeah, I need both. Yeah. Okay. I need the amazing defense, but I need some offense by like one team at least, please.
Someone.
Anything? Bueller?
Yeah. That's like the thing about like that game too, is that like obviously with like the Saints offense, they've been literally breaking offensive records the first 2 games. And so you expect them to come out and have this like monster game. And like I said, like a lot of people were saying, well, like Cowboys defense is better than the Eagles, because I was saying I'm excited to see them against like a little bit of a different defense or a little bit of a better defense. Cowboys defense is better than the Eagles defense.
Is it? Cowboys have like the worst run defense like ever.
So that's what I was gonna say. So the Cowboys defense, in theory, like their pass defense is better than the Eagles. But the Eagles have stopped way more touchdowns. They have way better like red zone defense. And so that's why I was excited to see them, like the Saints, play against the Eagles, because obviously the Saints have been getting to the red zone like crazy. And so I was excited to see like if the Eagles would be able to stop the Saints. And they did. They held them to a field goal in the first half.
Yeah. Do you think I have to ask this, do you think that everyone and also us were overhyping the Saints offense? After watching this game? No. Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why, because I was making notes. I was making notes about this because I was like watching back. I just think that the Eagles did their work. I think that the Eagles watched a lot of film, and the Eagles understood the offense that was being handed to them. If you watch the Eagles defense when the Saints were on offense, the Eagles did not give an F about the one guy. So like, whereas the Cowboys had their regular defense, they didn't really care. Like the Cowboys just, had their safeties out there.
They hadn't like figured it out yet.
Out there. Exactly. Whereas like the Eagles, they had all the guys staying up. They're like, okay, if you're going to have 8 guys blocking at us and you're only going to send one guy out, I'm just going to have this fantastic pass coverage on this one guy. Like if you watch it, the Eagles just read the Saints offense so well. And so like that's a huge shout out to the Eagles, because when I was watching them play, I was like, they figured it out. They watched the 2 games and they said, and I think a lot of that is because, like I said, if you're a competitive coach and you're like, hey guys, we're playing this team that scored 91 points
in the past 2 games.
In the past 2 games, yes. So how are we going to stop that from happening? And so my thought is that they just watched a shit ton of film. Like the Eagles probably watched exactly how they play, and I think they just adapted to it.
As like Caitlin and I think talked about either on last episode or the episode before.
Yeah.
This all goes down to coaching. Like that, this just goes to show they must have an amazing defensive coordinator, like someone that figured him out. You know what I mean?
That's what Dallas, I'm saying. Like they
Dallas
did it,
had a new one. So, and it was obvious. So I think this game was also just another reminder of how grateful they should be that they got Saquon Barkley. He ran 17 times for 104. I love watching him, and I know I'm supposed to hate the Eagles so much because they're a rival or whatever.
You can
to the Cowboys.
Appreciate greatness.
I appreciate Saquon Barkley so much. I think he's amazing. 17 times, 147 yards for 2 touchdowns. He just looks like unstoppable, and he like rises to those big moments. And they were down 3-0, and then they lost like Devonta Smith to a concussion, which is also a big problem for them next week because they have AJ Brown inactive right now. So like right when that happened, Barkley got a 65-yard touchdown run. So it was almost like, don't worry, guys. Don't worry, fellas. I got it from here. I got it from here. Obviously, the Saints defense was very concerned with how to stop him. You know, you can't really. So they ended up leaving Dallas Goedert, the tight end. I don't even know how.
I literally was going to ask you about him. Yes, because he had 170 yards.
10 catches, 170 yards, all because they were so concerned about Saquon that they left him to do it. So this is another reason, Caitlin, why I was telling you I thought that tight ends were being more used than usual. And I don't know if that
for sure him.
I don't know if that was like the Travis Kelce effect from last season, like being used so much.
It was.
That literally just came to me now. I'm like, I don't know if I'm crazy, and maybe I of course wasn't watching every single game taking notes because I wasn't talking about it on a podcast last year.
Yeah.
I was just watching the game for funsies, so I don't think I paid attention enough. So I would feel really silly if someone comes on here and tells us, no, tight ends last year were also used. But it seems to me that they've been using a little more. But, you know, the Eagles defense was insane to hold, like Caitlin said, to hold that team that just scored like 90 whatever points in the first two games to 12. And then I thought the Saints were about to go up 3-0 because they were literally about to win until the Eagles came back in like the last like 2 minutes. It felt like I thought the game was like literally. I think I texted Caitlin that the game. I was like, oh well, Saints are 3-0. Yeah, because that's how like over the game was, like the time. It was insane.
Yeah. The thing about this is that it ended up being just like such a defensive game when I thought it was going to be like such a big offensive game. Like you said, like this was the most boring, slowest first half of the game because just like no one could score. No one could even like get within field goal range. It was just like this fat defensive battle and no one could get down the field. And then I would say it was like a pretty decently normal second half, and everyone kind of like showed up and I guess like figured out how to score. I think the Saints, if you go back and watch their offense and stuff like that, in the second half they did switch up their offense a tiny bit to try to get down the field better because I think they realized that the Eagles were beating them a little bit.
And they found out our secret. They listened to you sports.
It's true. They knew it. They were like, this random girl is telling our secrets. So
all secrets are no fun unless you share them with everyone.
Unless you share them with me.
This still wasn't like the Eagles. The Eagles still don't look like the Eagles have in the past, obviously with Jalen Hurts and stuff. The Eagles turned the ball over twice. Saints got a blocked punt. So like, even though, you know, everyone was focused mainly on the Saints offense, clearly their defense has done, you know, great, but they managed 12 points and 219 total yards. Yeah. Derek Carr, 14 of 25, 142 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
They figured it out eventually.
Eagles secondary, was a lot for Derek Carr.
Yeah, was it 4 sacks or was it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, 1 sack on Derek Carr.
But
right.
Well, the thing is his usual guys like Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara, because Caitlin and I kept talking about Alvin Kamara, combined for 9 catches for 126 yards, but he didn't get a touchdown.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah, so they definitely shook them up like a little bit, and basically that's like all you really need to do now is figure out how to stop Olave and Kamara, and they can't score. So
well, yeah, I was gonna say that those are like almost like their only 2 offensive threats, and so if you learn how to stop, if you learn how, them, if you figure out how to stop them,
those 2,
there you go, game over. Yeah,
oh my
it's
God,
pretty bad, but yeah, so.
A team that I have been like hyping up, which is really funny because I will let you all know I hate the Minnesota Timberwolves, but a team I've been hyping up because I really like the guys on the team. So they could have been anywhere, okay? It doesn't have to be Minnesota, but I also do like the purple anyway.
I do too. I'm a big purple fan.
The Vikings beat the Texans 34-7. Everyone was wondering like if the Vikings were
that was so
overhyped.
Unexpected to me. TBH.
So unexpected. I think the Vikings currently are one of the best teams in the NFL. They beat the 49ers last week, which like we have to remember the 49ers are very injured, but they like whooped the Texans. The Chiefs and Bills, I think, are like probably the only others that are like battling for that top spot. But like Sam Darnold doesn't even have the stars, and Sam Darnold wasn't even supposed to be here. And
I'm baffled by him.
He's looked amazing. And that goes to show how I feel about how we need to let the QBs develop. Because look, Sam Darnold looks like a whole different guy. So he has been in the NFL for 7 years on his fourth team. And him and Justin Jefferson must be buddies. They must like go grab like beers in the offseason. I don't know, because they have had an insane connection. And Justin Jefferson.
That's literally what I wrote.
Really? Oh, we're so smart.
I literally put that like Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson just like are so good together. And like, I feel like they just like.
Are. They're like, they get each other or something. I don't know. It's like you and me. But like in my head. I'm like, just wait until you get TJ Hawkinson and Jordan Addison back. Like, and then the defense is just as good as its offense. Their game the week prior to this past one was insane. Brian Flores, amazing coach for this defense. You know, I don't know how anyone is going to like, how anyone else is going to do against this Vikings team. Like, I can't wait to see them with, again, like, you know, some of the, I don't even know what their schedule is. So they played the Packers this week. But
and Jordan Love will be back.
I just had to look it up. I wanted to know if they played the Chiefs, and they don't. And I'm like so upset about it, because I would love to see this defense against Patrick Mahomes, who has not been having, you know, his best game right now. But still hyping up Sam Darnold, 17 of 28 passes, 181 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then Aaron Jones, their running back, added 102 yards on the ground on 19 carries. So good. I felt really, I saw some footage of CJ Stroud at one point during the game, and he was sitting like this, ready.
Yeah, I was going to say he looked so sad during the game. And the thing is like, it's so hard, like,
it makes me want to cry,
because the Texans really are such a good team, and CJ Stroud is such a good player, and they really have like created such a good team around him. Obviously, that's why they're, you know, they were 2-0 and were playing really well. But like, I was gonna say, like, one of my notes is they got down the field ish. They just couldn't score. Like they had like so
people
much,
have been having trouble in the end zone, man.
They have, yes. So like CJ Stroud was 20 for 31, 215 passing yards, but they only converted on 4 of 14 third down conversions.
I was about to say that when you hear, because this was one of like the worst games he's experienced, but you wouldn't, you know, 20 of 21 for 215 doesn't sound bad, but he had two interceptions and 4 sacks because that Vikings defense does not play, man. They are insane.
They were good. Yeah. This is another one where I wrote that, like, on the Vikings, everybody ate. Everybody was scoring. Everybody was catching. Everybody was blocking. There were, you know, tackles and sacks. Like, everyone, like I said, just like the Jets, everybody eats. Like, everybody was everyone played so well. And I love games like that where, like, it's just, like, such a big team win. And obviously you see that they scored, 34 points?
They've been winning in such fun ways because, like, Sam Darnold has been throwing some insanely long passes to Justin Jefferson.
Yes,
they've been, and then the defenses have gotten. They got they had a blocked punt last week. I'm like, ooh, like even their defense is flashy. I love it, but it's okay. I feel really bad for CJ Stroud, but it's okay. You want to know why, Caitlin?
Tell me why.
Because he's playing the Jags this week, and that is a bottom 3 pass defense. So I'm going to bet the over on his passing yards because I think he's going to come back pissed. And poor Jags, kind of.
Yeah, the Jags are probably screwed playing against a sad Texans team that just got their butts kicked. They didn't just lose; they got their butts kicked, unfortunately.
They did, but I don't even want to talk about the Jags yet because I have because they were on Monday. We're gonna try and go.
We're gonna go in order,
at least by days. But I do want to ask you, Kaylin, when will it end?
I don't literally.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Chiefs winning.
When will it end? I am so sick of watching the Chiefs win.
Same.
Pass interference. Didn't I call last week? I was like, I don't even care if they win again, but can it be more than because of a penalty and a toe.
Truly,
No, you get
Nope.
another. That was like the most egregious form. And of course, let's talk about how they won against the Bengals because the refs called the pass interference for them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just like I have like nothing left. Like it's like, and it's like frustrating because I know that like Chiefs fans are gonna be like, oh boy, like it's not our fault. Like I get that. Like
Well aware.
it's like I understand.
I'm talking to the league, baby.
Yes, like I understand the Chiefs are a fantastic team and like blah 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 whatever, but like if you are anyone else that is not a Chiefs fan or that is not the Chiefs, it is so frustrating to watch a team have everything go right every time for them. Like they're
Every
the ones
call
that just
is advantageous to them.
And even if it's not like, I don't know, like even if it's not like a wrong call or anything like that, but like, for them, like I wish so badly that like when I was only down by like a field goal that I got, that the Broncos got some random freaking flag called on the team they're playing so that they could get a 15-yard first down and get in a field goal advantage. Like it's just like everything just perfectly works their way. And it's another reason, like I said, I'll say it again, they're probably going to be the team that goes back to the championship, the Super Bowl.
They want it to happen so bad, I swear.
I know.
This is such a side note, but what was making me laugh is like it's so obvious how I'm taller than you because we're sitting on the exact same couch because we have the same couch and I'm up here and my like head covers the sign.
I'm stretching.
So the Chiefs squeaked out another win.
So they did.
Yay!
Yeah, it was,
even without
frustrating.
Even without Pacheco. And I hyped him up, I think, on week 1. Carson Steele.
Yeah.
He did great on week 1 and I think he played last week too, but he did, and he's a rookie, an undrafted rookie.
Oh, I forgot he's a rookie. Yeah.
He made the roster mainly because of his special teams position, like in play. Yep. And he had only played 19 snaps in the first 2 games, but with Pacheco out, they threw him in there and rushed 17 times for 72 yards. And, listen, the Chiefs need to stockpile their wins for the AFC, and every win they get while they're shorthanded makes it easier down the stretch. Good for you.
Can I? So I was inebriated while writing some of these notes. Can I read some of these to you for this game?
Listen, that's how I had to watch the Broncos game, not this past week, the week before.
That's valid.
Yes, I'm so ready.
You ready for this? I said, Patty with 1 interception. Go Spence for winning money. 219 yards, blah, blah, blah. Because Spencer said before the game, Patrick Mahomes is going to throw an interception. And he did. And I was like, she won money for that because she probably put a bet on that.
Sure did.
But yeah, so I said 219 yards, blah, blah.
I did this thing because my mom told me to stop spending money on betting. So I know she'll be watching this. No, it's fine. Sorry, because Mom. I haven't taken any money out. I've only been playing with money I've won. Okay. So I'm trying to so I turned like $25 from like a couple weeks ago, or whatever. I think I had a winning like on top of what I got back from what I spent. Cause like when you go on like FanDuel, it'll be like $10 wins you 8. So then you end up getting 18 back. So I think 18, I had like the first day I had $50 off of like 20 or something. So I had like 70 back. And then I turned like 70. And then I think I like doubled that. So I'm trying to like keep it going.
You're doing so good.
And I won like, I think I won like 6 bets on Sunday. And they're like small bets. Okay. I do the single bets unless I have like a boost on a like parlay or something. So, but yeah, Mom, that's my explanation is I haven't spent any more money. I'm just turning money that I made into more money,
Mom.
So that
you're doing amazing.
You can love me and maybe I can win $2,000. Who knows? Okay. Anyway.
That would be so exciting.
That would be so exciting.
Here's one that you didn't win money on. Though.
Okay, asshole.
No, not, and it's not because like you put a bet on or like you put a bet and it didn't go through. I was just saying this is just something else that you didn't. My notes, I said the Falcons had 17 points. Awesome. Thank you for that. That was actually everything we all wanted to talk about. Just randomly in there. Falcons had 17 points. And here's my next one. 20 for 29, Kirky. 230 passing yards. -1 rushing yard. I had more than you. That's embarrassing.
Oh, listen. I was hoping for a big game from Bijan Robinson. And
he had an okay game, not the biggest.
Okay, well, with the game on the line, 4th and 1 at the Chiefs 13, he was dropped for a 3-yard loss, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Turnover on downs.
That was rough.
Chiefs win.
Yeah, that part was rough.
He got 31 yards on 16 carries.
But he got a touchdown for me.
I
did put, though, that I was really proud of the Falcons in this case because I feel like the Falcons, they're only, 1-2 now, I think?
Kirk didn't have a good first game. He had a really good second game.
Second game, yeah.
I was literally
so Falcons,
Kirk.
Yes, Kirk.
I was counting. I was literally... Kirko Chains, I was counting on you to do something for me. Didn't I say last week I was an Atlanta fan for the game?
He heard us and he said, "Don't care."
Don't care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I just I was very proud of them because I felt like they could have won and it like felt like a really evenly matched game for a while there. Like they really put up a fight against this Chiefs team, but like I really want someone to beat them, to just come out and pummel them. And I'm so sad because they play the Chargers next week, and the Chargers are halfway injured. The Chargers would have been able to put up a fight against them if they were whole, but they lost their quarterback. They're like freaking one of their best defensive freaking linemen. They
are the Chiefs just injured. The Celtics of the NFL.
Yes. Yes, they are. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, I'm not discrediting because if you win, you win. And if the team is injured, there are always injuries in the NBA and NFL. So I'm never that person that's like, their championship doesn't count.
Injuries. Yeah. Everyone.
But the Celtics did get to click skip ads to the championship. That's all I'm going to say.
That's valid. That's valid for
Thank
sure.
you.
They said 5 seconds. Skip.
Skip. 2 teams.
No thanks. Not me.
Another team that I really like to watch, speaking of injuries, is the 49ers.
I like them too. They have a great team.
I love their team. I love even their the backup to Christian McCaffrey. I've become like in love with him.
Me too. Another team. Jordan Mason keeps slaying.
He is, but they lost by 3 points to the Rams.
That was
and tough. Again, I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, are the 49ers not as good?" Okay, the 49ers didn't have Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, or George Kittle. So I don't think that's like 3 of their best offensive players right there. So like
no, literally though.
Only lose by 3 points when your top 3 offensive players are out, I would almost say is pretty impressive.
And am I crazy, or haven't they had like 3 like really good teams that they've played the first 3 weeks? They've played like 3 decent teams in the first couple weeks. Like I feel like there are other teams that like have gotten away with playing teams like the Jags and other not super awesome teams in the first couple weeks, and they've played a lot of really hard teams, and I feel like they've still like played well given all of like their injuries. And
listen, I think that they have like their offensive like unit is so deep. They had a great game from Jawan Jennings. He had 11
so good.
11 receptions for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns on 12 targets.
So good. Yeah, he did amazing.
But that was all that Brock Purdy could get help from. So
that was all they had. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 49ers pass catchers finished with 6 drops.
Ew.
And their defense gave up a 14-point halftime lead. Boo, tomato, tomato.
Ow.
Yeah, so the Rams like came back to score 20 points in the second half.
Yeah, the Rams had a crazy comeback win. Like, I don't know.
Kyron Williams breakout game.
Yes, I literally said like Kyron Williams. What was it? Three touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, 116 yards.
Yes, he was their game changer. Like,
especially without Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp.
Thank you. Yes, like
we got two injured people or two injured teams battling.
Yes, and it's just like, you know, seeing the Rams come out and seeing Kyron Williams just like show up and literally have this monster game and score three touchdowns. Yeah, oh, it was amazing.
Because he only had 75 yards between the first two games.
Yep.
So
total. Yes, and he came out and had 3 touchdowns and what was it? 175 yards in the game?
116.
Oh, okay.
So close.
So close. I think like the big thing too is that like I said, this was like another one of those really, really evenly matched games and stuff like that. And the 49ers defense came out, freaking sacked Matt Stafford 3 times. I said they sacked Staffy. Sacked the Staffy.
Stafford got sacked.
Yes, and he had a great game too. Like, I just feel like both teams
He's
overall,
great.
Given
and
their
McVay as McVay and Stafford are quite the combo.
Just like given both teams' circumstances, it was a huge show out, and literally props to the Rams for coming out and absolutely annihilating the 49ers in the second half because it was crazy.
Killed them.
Crazy.
Killed them. Yeah, Stafford is great. I want to talk next. I don't even really care about the Steelers game, but let's talk about Justin Fields.
Russell Wilson.
Your spot's in jeopardy.
My hot take. I don't have big hot takes, but my hot take is that Russell Wilson, when he is healthy, will not come back and start. I think Justin Fields has stolen his starter.
Smashing that take.
Spot. Yeah, I think he.
Exclamation point to that take.
Yeah, he's just been so good. Like, I think to have the battle that they did during preseason and just like, you know, like, I mean, obviously they're both very good quarterbacks, but they're both very different quarterbacks. You have one very young, very good, like, rushing quarterback, a good decision maker, but he's kind of a guy that you can kind of mold to any offense. And then you have a Russell Wilson, who is a very specific type of quarterback, but like you can make work with your team if you have the right pieces around him. And obviously they thought that he was going to be the better option. He ended up getting hurt with his calf strain right before the week 1, you know, first game and everything like that. And Justin Fields just came out and took this team to 3-0. Like, the Steelers being 3-0 was not on my bingo card, especially with their quote unquote backup quarterback.
Not to mention he's 10 years younger than Russell.
Same thing with the Vikings, by the way.
Yeah, Justin Fields completed his first 10 passes and ran for a 5-yard touchdown in the opening quarter, and ended with 245 yards passing. You know, their coach obviously is playing an insane defensive game. Like, they have held, the Steelers have done amazing on the defensive end of the ball. They're holding opponents to a league low of 8.7 points a game.
Yes, they beat out the Chargers for that. That's why I was really excited to see this game, is because the Chargers and the Steelers are the two teams that had the lowest amount of opponent points allowed per game. So they were having, like, in theory, the best defense. They were not allowing teams to score very much. And the Chargers had allowed an average of 6.5 points per game before their game on Sunday. And then the Steelers had allowed 8. They were the two best teams in that regard. And so I was really excited to see this matchup. I bet the under on this one, and I won money. You're all welcome, everyone.
I'm so proud of you. Use that knowledge, baby. I love that.
They kind of did exactly what I thought they would do. I mean, granted, the score ended up being 20-10, but they both had just like such a good defensive game. And obviously, you know, they scored when they could, but it was exactly how I kind of imagined the game would go. But offensively, I thought this was funny. On the Steelers, Calvin Austin, I said, Had no idea who that guy was, but he showed up and had a touchdown and 95 yards. Like when I was watching him, I was like, who's
Good
that
job
guy?
for you.
Who's that guy? Why is he playing so well? Who is he?
Nailed it.
Yeah, and he did so good. So, like, congratulations to you. I now know your name, Calvin Austin. Not that you care, but I know your name now.
Well, now he will.
Yes, he did so good. And that's the last thing that I wanted to say about it. I know that you didn't want to get too deep into it.
Yeah, I just didn't care about their game that much.
Yes.
I was like, I literally texted Caitlin. I was like, I literally don't really care about the game, but we have to talk about Justin Fields' Russell situation.
Yes, because like I said, I think that Russell Wilson's going to be, he's going to be sitting on his butt. But something about this game.
QB2 to the back of the line.
Truly. And so for me, obviously, Broncos are in the AFC West and everything. And so you have the Chiefs, and then you have the Broncos and the Raiders and the Chargers. And the Raiders were 2-0 before their game against the Steelers, and I thought that the Chargers were going to go up 3-0 because they've been playing so well. Mm-hmm. Everyone on their team got hurt. Everyone. Like their quarterback got hurt. Joe Alt, their rookie, who literally is like recording freaking like at least 1 to 2 sacks a game. He's insane. He's hurt. And
everybody's injured.
They had injury after injury, and so I don't know how long their guys are out for, but I think it's it's really gonna affect them. And like
a while.
Yeah, I know. And
you
so
might as well just throw it away this season. Can you redshirt? Can we have a redshirt year?
I need the Broncos to like take advantage and like squeeze past there because I have the Broncos being a wild card team. No one at me. Sorry.
Can we talk about how Russell Wilson pulled a Joel Embiid and was at the game but didn't show his face?
Nuh-uh. Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
He was in the locker room.
What?
Yeah, the head coach got him the game ball and said, was so happy we could win this for you. I'm sorry, are we not still signing your paychecks, dude?
What?
You'd think you'd be a little excited.
That was me looking for what?
The audacity?
The audacity? That makes no sense. Why are you hiding?
Why are you?
You're literally supposed to be QB1. Like, you should be on the sidelines.
He's
Not
scared.
him.
He didn't want to get booed. His feelings are fragile.
Well,
I don't like Russell Wilson. You know who else I don't like?
I'm not a big Russell Wilson fan. Who, Deshaun Watson? Was I right?
Bingo. Ding, ding, ding. 5 more points to Gryffindor. I hate Deshaun Watson so much. Yeah, my favorite thing is every single article ever says, yeah, the Browns absolutely most certainly have a Deshaun Watson problem. I agree. I think the world and this planet have a Deshaun Watson problem. Not to mention, he's now come out.
Deshaun Watson is like a metaphor for all the shitty men in the world, by the way.
Let's talk about how his girlfriend, like famous, is like standing by his side.
28.
Okay.
28 women.
Girl, we're a little too old to be believing that girls are making stuff up. He's not that
28
cute.
Girls.
He's not that cute.
A million times out of a million to have 28 separate women accuse you of similar things. Not the exact same story.
The stories are literally all similar.
Yes, and like they're not like the exact same, but like they all sound like they're absolutely the same person. And like
literally.
I refuse to be like, I'm going to believe this gajillionaire football player over 28 women, who, mind you, most of them remained anonymous. So it's not like they're trying to get their name out there. It's not like they're out here trying to do anything. But do you know how horrible it is to have 28 women that you have caused pain and their families and whoever else is affected by the crap that you've done to them have to see your face plastered all over the TV and see that you're making gajillions of dollars? I hope every NFL defense sacks you at least 5 times a game because
it's good because he got sacked 8 times this game.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's already more than his average the last 3 games. And so I hope every NFL team continues to do that for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so I had nothing to say other than you suck, and I'm going to say it every week because every week you seem to get sacked like 8 times, and as you should.
Tomato.
If you're not going to be in jail, at least you have 200-pound men literally throwing you to the ground.
Yeah, I was going to say at least you can be in NFL defense prison and get sacked 8 times a game.
Period.
I hope your O-line is doing it on purpose, TBH.
You are in hell right now, in NFL defense hell, and I'm so here for it. So shout out to every linebacker who's gotten a sack against him. I love you so much.
We love you. Keep doing it.
Yes, you're doing great, sweetie. Love that. Oh my God. Wait, we have to talk about something sad now because I just feel so bad about it.
Oh no. Oh.
I feel so bad for Bryce Young.
Me too. Oh, I don't think he's gonna play another minute for the Panthers. Like at least this year. At least this season.
That's funny you say that because I literally have in game notes for another game, another team that might grab him.
So true. I forgot that other teams were looking at him.
I feel so bad. So Andy Dalton got Panthers their first win, 36 to the Raiders 22.
And he had, and like it sucks. Really
he had a good game.
Like, yeah, I'm not a Bryce Young hater. Bryce Young is a very young quarterback, obviously. Like last year was his first year. Obviously had a really rough time.
Yeah, we knew that last week. We just we meant like rookie young quarterbacks, but yes, we sounded silly. But we know that he played last year. I just kind of forget.
Well, for me, like when we were talking like rookies, I still put him in my head because he was.
I still put him in my head as like a rookie.
And well, yeah, and he played last year as a rookie and did start. Like it was, it applied to him. Like for me, like I look at him, and I just like I see another guy who is almost like inheriting another rookie quarterback who's just inheriting a really crappy team and a really crappy organization, and just being like, fix me, thank you, and then people are like,
solve all my problems
on them. Yes, like I'm sorry, like, but you do have to help them. You know, you have to help.
Know. They don't just know how to be a pro. So yeah, the Andy Dalton,
he played great.
Yeah, the Panthers finished with 9 plays of 15 plus yards with him.
Yeah, he played so good. And like, you know what, good for Andy Dalton because he's been kind of like out of the quarterback like scene for like a long time. Like he hasn't been a starting quarterback for a while, and he hasn't been, his name hasn't been thrown around a lot or anything like that. And so good for him for having such a great game. I hope that Bryce Young is able to kind of take this game, or not just this game, but like the rest of the season so far, or as much as he has.
He's so cute. He literally high-fived every single player coming off the field like he was out in the tunnel, like the middle of the tunnel.
Oh.
The poor baby.
I love players like that. Like that is
such
like,
I felt so bad for him.
I do too. Like for me, and this is how I feel kind of about like Travis Kelce too, and not necessarily Travis Kelce because it's not like Travis Kelce got benched, but like when you're kind of like getting your spot or like your playing minutes taken by someone else. Again, not necessarily for Travis Kelce because he's on the field and he's still playing.
Yeah.
Just not being utilized in the same way. But like for someone like Bryce Young or for someone like Travis Kelce, when you're like no longer being utilized, like football is your life. Like when you're not doing enough, or like you feel like you're not doing enough, it is awful. Like it is such a shitty feeling. And so like for him to still like be there and support his teammates and to still, you know, show up and put a smile on his face and just like want it to be a team game and want to make sure that he wins. Like shout out to him. I love him so much.
I'm gonna cry.
I literally will send him a DoorDash gift card.
I know.
I don't know what that's gonna do. I don't know what
he
that's
doesn't
need
for
an NFL player, but
he has. Okay, so you know, moving on because
anyway, don't care.
I'm tired of being sad. Anyway, you know how last week I gave you and the class here everything basically that Mike McDaniel needed to like win without Tua?
What did they do?
None of that. They didn't do it. None of that. Not. He didn't watch Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel
Someone needs to send him U Sports.
Mike McDaniel took the exact same offensive scheme for Tua and just said, here you go. Do that.
I swear. Like, and here's the thing. I love Mike McDaniel. I really like Mike McDaniel as a coach, but we talked about this last week and even like the week before. One thing that makes such a good coach is adjusting for your players. When you have guys out. Like, you're the coach. You're the one that comes up with the shit in your head. Like, you're the one that's like making these plays and calling these plays and writing up these schemes and stuff like that. You're the one doing that. And when you have a quarterback who does not play the same way and does not play the same brand of football, and like players that are not used to playing with this quarterback, you have to adjust. And that they did not.
Yeah, so a lot of people were saying that the Dolphins should be giving the Panthers a call, but I guess the Panthers said they had no interest in trading Bryce Young, but they are getting a lot of calls.
I know. I think, and that's what I'm wondering is like if the Panthers are saying that they're not interested in getting rid of Bryce Young, I wonder if like they're taking the advice of everyone, like
and gonna let him have a year.
Like exactly. If they're going to let him have a year and maybe learn behind Andy Dalton and work on just like really building him up and really kind of making him be an NFL quarterback as opposed to taking a college quarterback and putting him in an NFL scheme. I think that's like the problem is you don't give him time to become an NFL quarterback. You take a college quarterback and you just throw him on an NFL field with NFL players and they're totally different players, totally different vibes.
Yeah. To be fair, so the Dolphins it was 3-28, 24, 3-24. So Seahawks have looked, they're like silently good. I feel like for some reason,
3-0.
So as if like what we haven't said about young quarterbacks isn't enough. You have people like Andy Dalton and Sam Darnold who are suddenly much better than they used to be. Shocking. And I'm piggybacking onto that. It's like, is Geno Smith still improving at 34 years old? Like,
yeah,
it didn't always look great in their second half, but overall, like, so he was the 2022 comeback player of the year. He literally looks so comfortable in their offense, like in Ryan Grubb's offense. Like he looks so good. His completion rate's on pace right now to be the best of his career, even though it's like obviously still early. But look, I mean,
still that's 3 monster games that you're coming out and having. And
but you also have DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith, Njigba, and
I love that. You did it,
and Tyler Lockett.
Yes, I think that's what I was actually going to say is that, like, the nice part about Geno Smith is that, like, obviously, like you said, like, I feel like he could still be getting better. And that's really hard to do. They normally say that, like, athletes' primes are, like, between 27 and 30 and stuff like that. And then they usually, like, not flatline, but, like, they kind of, like, plateau for a little bit. Literally. Dead, sorry. Before they, like, kind of, you know, become like a backup again, or if you're like a Tom Brady, you just, you know, play for a different team and just finish out your career, or a Peyton Manning. But, you know, for like regular quarterbacks or whatever, that kind of prime sits in like your late 20s and early 30s. And so for him to be 34 and still getting better, I think a lot of that is a testament to, like you said, like Ryan Grubb's offense and stuff like that. And just like this team that they've taken and they've built around him. I feel like they've really given him the pieces to succeed, and they've also given him
to excel.
Like, the coaching. Exactly, yeah, and like the coaching and, you know, the players on both sides. Like the Seahawks defense is like more than what I could have ever expected. Like I literally, again, I'm calling myself out here, said that the Seahawks defense was a bottom 10 defense. But I said this before week 1. I said this before we even started the season, okay? I obviously know now that they are probably a top 10 defense, not even somewhere in the middle. And so I'm excited for Geno Smith, and I hate the Seahawks just because of what they did to the Broncos in 2014. So sorry, but sorry. But I really do like seeing them succeed, and they were not on my bingo card to be as good as they are this year.
No, and I like always forget about them when I'm like talking about kind of like the top teams of like right now. But they've really done really well in the first 3 weeks. So
they have. They've stood out. They've become little monsters. I love it for them.
That's all I have for Sunday. Should we move on to Monday?
Yeah.
Speaking of really bad teams and really good teams, Bills and Jags.
Okay, can I just like I don't think I've seen
Your turn. I'm ready.
think that I've seen a football team in the NFL as bad as the Jags have been the first 3 games in such a long time.
Do you remember like Thanksgiving last year?
Yeah.
That's
Do you remember?
that was like a long time ago, right?
Like a year ago.
Yeah, that's the last time Trevor Lawrence won a game.
That's the last time he won? Oh, he was so bad.
This is his 8th consecutive loss.
Ow. Can I say something really? This is like so unfootball related. And if you want to cut it out, you can, because it's like, it's just kind of like one of those like, what are those thoughts that like pop in your head? Intrusive. I think he looks like one of those Easter Island rockheads.
I don't know what I would say he looks like. I don't agree with that, but like I do think he looks weird.
Okay. You said, I don't like that one, but yeah.
No, I just meant, I was like, I don't really see it, but like I totally like, he's just an odd looking human. I know what they look like.
I know, but I have to look at it because I'm like, now I'm telling myself that I'm crazy.
My butt. It's like every time at the like hour and a half mark is when my butt starts hurting.
Hey, well, we're doing good. We're on Monday. We're almost done. I'm so proud of us.
I know.
Okay. Come on. You guys cannot tell me. Wait, that is not Trevor Lawrence. Put a helmet on him. Let's go. No.
I still don't see it. No,
Hey, chat, let me know if I'm literally insane, because I will be gaslighting myself for the next 12 hours. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the thing is like they can't even bench him though, because he just signed like a 5-year, $275 million extension.
He's making $55 million a year, and he is playing like he makes not even $1 million.
Have you seen the joke coming around?
No.
They said Trevor Lawrence is the first man to throw an interception to a dead man. Or to a man that died. Oh no, a man that died. That's what it was.
Yes. He's the first one to throw an interception to a guy that died. That's R.I.P. Damar Hamlin. So glad you're back, bestie. Good interception.
His first.
Dude, it was so, I literally cried at the TV. I was like, oh, he died and now he has an interception. I love this game. Like, I'm just like, I'm so happy because like, we talk about Tua a lot and everything like that. And like, just like how I don't think that he should be back. When I saw Damar Hamlin's injury, not even an injury, he literally died on the field. When I saw that.
Literally.
And like, yeah, literally. When I saw that and I heard that he wanted to come back, I literally was like, don't. Like, why would you? And stuff like that. And so
literally.
To see him looking so healthy and playing well, I'm thrilled to see that. Obviously, like I still like wince every time he like steps on the field. It's so scary because you just never know when it's going to happen again. You don't know. But like to see his first interception was like the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And everyone was so happy for him. Everyone was throwing up the hearts in the stadium for him. Oh, it was, I'm crying. It's fine.
Bills wrecked the Jags.
Dude, I've never seen a game like that. Okay,
Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen
is. Miami Dolphins play the Denver Broncos last year.
I think Josh Allen is on track to become MVP.
Dude, I was kind of like, I wasn't talking shit, but like preseason, I think you and I talked about him a little bit. We always do, but
how he has a terrible turnover rate. Is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that. And
he's like turnovers or something.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. And we were just talking about how like, we weren't sure if like this was like going to be a great year for them.
I love how you and I, sorry, I just had to say, I love, Caitlin and I have now been like, we're on like hour and a half and now we're like both getting shifty. I keep saying,
oh my gosh, I've been doing it the whole time. Like, I'm so sorry for all of you that are watching. I've literally been like,
I know. I'm like over here. I'm coming back. Yeah.
Our butts hurt. We're gonna get bedazzled cushions for our
we
butt
got
cheeks.
to.
Yeah.
Allen had 247 yards in the first 30 minutes.
Game. Yes.
In the first 30 minutes.
Monster game.
Again, speaking about everyone eating to 9 receivers.
Yep. Everybody ate.
He had touchdown passes to Dalton Kincaid, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, and Ty Johnson. And then James Cook had opened the scoring with a 6-yard run.
And
That's hella points.
Yeah. First of all, James Cook, out of the woodworks, has had such a fantastic season. Dalton Kincaid has also been so fantastic. And so just to see this team, I mean, I don't think I've seen the Bills like this in a long time. Like the vibes are up for the Bills, and that is scary because they have all the pieces that they need. And they are easily making themselves out to be contenders because they're all playing their best brand of football. So watch out for those Bills, man, because oh my God, did you see the video of them with Mr. Brightside?
Yes, I did.
That I just I need to say because this is us and you and I talk about whatever we want. I know it's not football related, but I love shit like that. When the vibes are up, because I have never seen a stadium like the Bills Stadium. I've never seen anything like that.
Speaking of that song, when I went to an Avs game last year, they played Mr. Brightside and the whole stadium was singing it. I have a video of it. It's the coolest thing ever.
Oh, I love it. And I just I love stuff like that because it's just this is so corny and this is such a girly sports thing. And that's exactly why we're here. That's literally why we're doing this podcast. But that's one of my favorite things about sports is just that there are literally 100,000 people in that stadium all singing together. The vibes are up. You have players from that team on the field dancing and singing to each other during a timeout. That it just vibes immaculate. And that's the stuff that I love so much about good competition and good sports and just happy things. It was so good. I cried at it. I'm not gonna lie.
It was a game. It was such a game. And then everyone knows how I feel about Joe Burrow, I think.
Joey B.
Boyfriend. Why'd you do that? Joe?
Did you know that my 6th grade boyfriend's name was Joey?
Ew. Joey B. Joe Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty. First of all, I'm not going to lie. I love the frosted tips look.
I don't. I hate it. I hate it so much. But
you don't like blondes though, so.
True. the Bengals are 0-3.
I think that's also one of my biggest shocks.
No team that has ever started out 0-3 has ever gone to the Super Bowl.
No team? None? Zero?
Mm-mm.
Dang.
But also I wanted to say neither Washington nor Cincinnati punted or turned it over, which is the first time that's happened in the Super Bowl the Super Bowl era.
Wow. The entire game.
No punt or turnover.
Wow. It was a great game. I feel like it was another one of those very evenly matched games.
I mean, I think it was a great game because
amazing.
The Commanders now have their franchise QB, basically. Jaden Daniels looked like a veteran. Mm-hmm. He threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for 1. And the Washington Commanders, I think they shocked the Bengals, to be quite honest with you.
I think they shocked a lot of people. I think that myself included, I didn't think that they were going to be awful, but
I had the under on Daniel's completion rate because he hasn't been doing well. He finished 21 of 23 for 254 yards. So
21 of 23 is crazy.
Number 2 overall draft pick, setting an NFL rookie record for completion percentage at 91.3%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
The Commanders scored on every possession except for kneel downs at the end of each half and did not. Oh, they have not punted or turned the ball over in their last 2 games. The Commanders haven't.
Wow.
I will say, I don't think this was Joe's fault. Joe threw for 324 yards and 3 scores.
Yeah. I just think that like in this game, I feel like it was like I said, another like such evenly matched game. Like when you watched it, same. When you watched it and everything like that, like obviously like you could tell there were no turnovers. It was just back and forth. I feel like both teams like did a really great job of getting down the field and scoring and doing what they needed to do and blah blah blah. But like I really just feel like it was like a timing type thing. Like they just like there wasn't enough time to like go back and finish, and the Commanders ended up scoring and winning. So.
Yeah. I do want to say, and again, I hate the Commanders, formerly the Washington Redskins. Am I allowed to say that? Will I get canceled for saying their former name? I don't know.
You might.
Okay.
Well, you might.
Shucks.
I'm here for you, baby.
Thanks. Daniel's first career touchdown pass was a 1-yard pass to a lineman.
Oh, it was so good.
He was
so good.
He was so happy. He was dancing. They were all screaming. It was so good.
The vibes were up. That's another thing that I love about sports.
Spencer's favorite thing is when, because of it's like a thing that doesn't happen every game, is when a lineman gets a touchdown pass. Oh, it's so good.
So good. Or like my favorite too is like when like the ball gets tipped by like a defender, and then like one of the defensive linemen catch it and like run it back and stuff like that. Because I'm sorry, who's tackling your 300-pound big man?
That's not any. This is what I like, and I meant by that like any form of a lineman having a ball.
Yep. It's so good because like you're just good. So right. Like it doesn't happen a lot, and like they know that their job is to block. They know that they don't touch the ball 99.9% of games, and so like. I mean, he really was like he was so hyped, and I love seeing his team like run up to him and hype him up too. It was so good.
And his coaches, it was incredible, and the coaches were so happy. They like made a joke on air. They were like, they must have run this play in practice, and he must have dropped it or something because they like freaked out so much. And I was cracking up just thinking like it's so true though. Like he ran, no one saw that he wasn't blocking and just ran into the end zone. There was no one near him.
I love a good trick play.
Love a good trick play. Don't love that it was against Joe Burrow, but listen, Joe. If anyone can go to the Super Bowl after an 0-3 loss, it's Joe Burrow.
Is it?
Is it? Sure about that? Is this just another form of, did you really say that? Did you really?
Hey, that one was my genuine reaction. This was just me being words. This was me being an asshole.
I love that. Love this game.
I'm the worst. I'm sorry. It was so fun though. I don't know. What a good week of football. I feel like the last 2 weeks have been so random in like I feel like there are so many teams coming out of the woodworks and surprising us in like a good way, and so many teams that are also just awful that I didn't think would be awful. So
yeah, so many injuries. So everyone's injured.
Everyone is injured. I hope that they figure that out. And I always wonder if like
I hope they figure that out.
No, for realsies.
Stop hurting yourselves. What are you guys doing?
So serious. Like,
come on.
I've always wondered.
Do better.
And this is like, tell me what you think. If you think that like this is a smart thought, or if you think it's not a smart thought. Okay. So I always wonder, like in the NBA, you know, they talk about like resting guys and stuff like that. And I feel like the guys that rest the most are the ones that get injured the most. And maybe that's like crazy to me, but like I feel like the guys that are playing 82 games are the guys that are consistently playing 82 games and are not getting hurt all the time. And
I just feel like those guys are the ones that aren't injury prone. Like I
that's
like
so true. Yeah,
I think some guys
it's genetics.
I like literally just think people like Jamal and like Ben Simmons and like MPJ, like incredible athletes, always injured.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like, and it's always like the same, and it's like anything little. Like remember Jamal came back and then like from the hamstring and immediately twisted his ankle or something. Like, and then was out. I feel like some people just like have the worst luck and always get injured.
Right. And so like, that's like kind of what I was thinking. Cause I was like, part of me, like like I said, I think a lot of it's genetics. Some people are just injury prone. But then that's what I was wondering is like, I wonder if like some guys who are more injury prone get hurt and then they don't like take their ramp up process seriously and like still kind of use it as like, I don't know, like more rest time. And then they come in, they play a game and they've never like, and they haven't played like game speed or, you know, anything like that for like a few weeks. And then they re-injure themselves because their body wasn't ready for that.
Yikes.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I literally don't study. I almost failed biology. So don't ask me questions.
I'll have to ask my mom. Maybe the nurse knows.
Yeah.
Or my boss, the radiologist. She reads scans all day. Like she literally told me that because like after Aaron Rodgers tore his ACL or whatever, she said that's literally what happens like when men turn 40. Allison said like she literally it's like as soon as they turn 40, like people like tear their. She's like I literally read scans all the time. It's like as soon as men in their 40s, it's like the most common like injury for men in their 40s. Yeah,
it's that knee. Mm-hmm. Sounds about right. Or was it his Achilles? Was it his ankle?
No, it was ACL, isn't it?
Okay, I don't know.
Let's see. Achilles. Sorry, that's what my boss. My boss was saying. Yeah, like as soon as you turn 40. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, man. It's those knees and ankles. Mm-hmm. Makes sense, but man, guys, I'm excited. We got the Cowboys tomorrow or today, or it was yesterday if you're watching.
It's gonna get I usually have an Apple Watch. It's going to get up today. It's just going to be a late one. So I'm sure most of our East Coast friends will be watching this tomorrow.
Cool. Well, either way, we're so happy to be here. And we are so happy that you're here. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Next week, we're going to be back and better than ever.
And hopefully every single team I like wins, which means I need a Cowboys, Bengals, and Broncos win.
Broncos. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I just tried to eat my microphone. I just want the Browns to go 0-16. Pull a Lions 2009 season.
Oh my God, that would be so good.
Like I said, I want an average of 5 sacks a game on that boy. Okay. Take it.
No, last game was 7, or last game was 8. The game before was 7. So I want an average of 7 at least.
I'll take it. Easy.
I'll take it. I hope the O-line like literally just stands up and like parts the sea, and they're like, go for it.
That's what I was saying. Is I wonder if the O-line is doing it on purpose. Like I
don't think so. You know those guys. They're like, if he said he didn't do it, he didn't do it.
So true. Yeah.
Yeah, and also they're not gonna like lose a game, but
well, they have. They've lost plenty.
They're gonna lose anyway.
Yep. 0-16. Go for it.
Anyway, I'm gonna go lay horizontally on my couch and edit this.
I'm gonna go work for the next 3 hours.
Me too.
Touche.
Same. So we're going to stop the recording, but I don't think it's going to kick us off. Wait, I guess we should just be like, bye, everybody. Bye. We love you so much.
We love you a lot. See you next week.
See you next week when we'll be together. The band is back.